We had a lot more important things going on before then. And that's what people don't get, though. The irony, like everybody's a superstar or a superhero when they come out of the curtain. No clue what's going on behind the curtain.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess now.
Now it's out there.
Well,
I saved your
again,
life.
it's going to be one of those things that we get bombarded with questions, so you might as well.
Talk about how I saved your life. And that was the second time I saved your life, by the way, because that one time you were choking on a piece of steak and I literally gave you the Heimlich maneuver. I saved your life.
I'm dead.
But this was the second.
There is no mystique left.
But no, your fans should have, your fans hate me half the time just because I'm married to you. So maybe they'll love me because I've saved his life, guys, twice now. Legit.
Yes, you saved my life with the.
You literally
I
were
don't know
choking.
that I was
scary.
choking, but
Are you kidding me?
I would have hacked it up eventually, I think.
No, you wouldn't have. Clearly, when I look at you and you're going, and I had to jump up on the chair because I couldn't reach you, and then I barely got my arms around you, and then all of a sudden,
I mean, you broke your thumbnail too, right?
not just broke it, that whole thing tore off, and ended up in your steak that you ate later.
I didn't finish. You did save me, and I did finish the steak. But
yeah. So, well, I think it's important for people to know some. Don't have to give them all the details, but I felt like when people would come up to me and congratulate me and be like, "How you doing?" and I'm almost in tears, or like, "I'm okay," but they could tell I wasn't okay, but they thought it was probably just because of the speech. No, it was because of the heart issues you had been having weeks prior, which by the grace of God, we found out just by a God thing, but it ended up being terrifying. And the day we got home from WrestleMania, the next morning at 6 a.m., we were at the hospital for a little bit of heart surgery. So those are
a
very
little bit. I mean, don't. I mean,
it's your heart,
it was my heart, but
just minor. Kind of what makes you beat.
But yeah. So I mean, there was that little kind of sidebar going on.
Sidebar for about 5 weeks. It was terrifying.
I wasn't supposed to go to Vegas.
You weren't supposed to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You didn't want me to tell anybody.
Yeah, I really didn't today
not
either.
Fair to me. Not fair to me. Not fair.
I was.
We were
there
in the
for you.
hospital for 4 nights, 2 weeks before WrestleMania. Yeah, you weren't supposed to go. Duh. That's that old school mentality. I'm not mad at it because I'd probably be the same patient, but it was terrifying. I couldn't focus on anything else. All I wanted to focus on was your heart, getting you in with the best cardiologist, which we eventually did, but that took a lot of phone calls, several nights in the hospital, lots of doctor visits, and by the grace of God, yes, you were here, but out of the words of the doctor himself, it could have turned out badly had we not found it that day.
Yeah. So anyway, now strong like bull.
Strong like bull.
Strong like bull.
And thankfully, you can still pretend that you're dead man.
Instead of being one? Wow. That's a little strong, I think.
Because I saved your life.
Huh?
Because I saved your life.
All right, you did. You made me go have a test done, and
I did. That I'd scheduled in January. That's what was crazy about it. And you went to the doctor March 28th, because I'll never forget. And then you called me and were like, they won't run the heart exam then. Just a routine heart scan that we were going to do.
I didn't even know there was anything wrong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was just a routine thing that I took 2.5 months to get into. Because when you called me, I'm not going to lie, and you're like, my heart rate was like 140 something or whatever it was, and they won't do the test. I got mad at first. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I scheduled like 2.5 months ago. Like, they're not going to do the test. Like, can you ask for a different nurse? Like, does she know what she's doing? And then I was like, okay, Michelle, rein it back. Like something. Anyway, got you into another one about an hour later. They had one appointment open. And come to find out, you had been in chronic AFib for
who knows
how long. Yeah. But the scariest part was that you didn't feel any symptoms, so we didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you came in a few times like out of breath, and I'd bust your balls. Like, dude, you were just throwing the ball with the dog. Why are you so out of breath? Or going up the stairs like to pray with the kids. Like, what? Why are you out of breath? Not thinking it was an actual heart issue. So so medicines didn't work, and we ended up in the ER on a Friday. Of course, you wouldn't stay the night. At the end of, I think, Kaya's flag football all day Saturday, you looked at me and you're like, I'm still in AFib, because you're doing it with the watch and everything else. And I was like, okay, if you're not out of AFib when we're getting ready to go to church tomorrow morning, we're going to the hospital. And thankfully you agreed. And so we went to the hospital. Numbers were out of whack. Heartbeat was out of whack. Your ejection fracture of the blood of how it was pumping or whatever was 30%, I think it was.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Yeah, it wasn't much. It's supposed to be 100, obviously. We ended up staying in the hospital for 4 nights where they actually had to cardiovert you and shock you back to a normal rhythm that sadly lasted, 24 hours? Literally. Maybe 48.
Maybe 48.
Maybe
yeah.
48. So after about 4 days, we go home. 2 days later, you're back in AFib. And man, I was stressed.
I do remember that.
See, I do love you.
Mhm.
I was stressed out.
You just have a funny way of showing it sometimes.
That's a lie. But I mean, nothing was working. Nothing was working. You kept telling me, I'm fine. I feel fine. You wanted to fly to the first week of LFG to tape. 2 days out of the hospital. And I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but
Yeah, no one else did either.
no, nobody did. And your blood pressure was like 80 over 50 and your heart rate was 140 one second, 120 the next, 103. It was just wild.
That's,
So-
that's the old school mentality. Though.
Yeah, well, that's all I could focus on, literally. Even at WrestleMania weekend, the entire weekend I was just worried about you. But
I
you're
appreciate
good now.
I'm all good now. No more sympathy for me.
No more sympathy. Sympathy gone.
All the other health issues and everything aside, I mean, you really did get to enjoy
Yeah, I did.
there's not everybody is in the Hall of Fame.
I know.
And I hope you got to enjoy that a little bit.
I did. I've struggled sometimes with imposter syndrome because everybody just sees me as, you can finish that because you know where I'm going,
Yeah,
Undertaker's wife.
right.
So it was nice to be recognized for my achievements that, often I feel like people have forgotten. So despite what was going on, it was hard to focus on a speech. It was hard to focus on anything whatsoever. And I knew that was my big night. Like that was one night, had so many family and friends there to share it with. Couldn't be more blessed.
All those damn McCools.
All those McCools everywhere, every seat. But it was so weird. As nervous as I was about the speech and whether people would like it or whether people would accept it or whether I would even remember any of it because I was worried about you. When we got to the theater, and I know this sounds crazy, but we walked into this beautiful room.
It was your dressing room.
Yeah, the dressing room. This beautiful dressing room that had blue camo wallpaper all around it. And I think I said to you, I'm like,
This was
it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Like this was meant to be. I'd already mentioned like what a class. Triple H, Steve, Lex,
Yeah,
Stone
Lex.
Cold.
Yeah.
Like
Strong class. You went in
strong
a very
class.
strong
Like
class.
what? Strong class with some upgraded rings, but we'll get to that another episode. Because I don't want to get you hot. But when I walked into the camo room, I literally looked at you and I was like, it was meant to be. And I had this calmness. I don't even think I sat in the room and rehearsed or anything. Like I just had this calmness that, this is it. Like I'd prayed God speak through me, like just go out here and you were super calming after the induction. We had a little moment and you said, enjoy the moment. And I was never good at that in the past, but I really did enjoy that moment.
Yeah.
I did. I did. I felt loved. I felt appreciated. I felt seen.
Yeah. And you were. And you deserved to be. And yeah. Regardless of what was going on behind the scenes, I think I was more nervous doing your induction than I was giving my own speech.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though you still went out there and talked about how I chased you
Well,
on my Hall of Fame night.
I mean, like I can't change history,
Okay.
but it did help,
But it was nice. It was start to finish from the package they put together. Just makes you feel super special.
Those packages will make anybody feel like
Crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy. And then, backstage getting photos with family and friends. It was hard. Like I said, it was hard to enjoy. I'm glad I have the pictures to, remember who all was there. But I did enjoy it. I really did.
You had a ton of people that not just your family, but there was a ton of people that came to Vegas
yes.
to see you get inducted.
I felt very loved. Yeah. Very loved. It was a special night.